Managing risk in a research and development facility presents unique challenges. Here at the Kraton Innovation Center in Savannah, we apply the life-saving principles every day to identify hazards, mitigate risk, and ensure that we are operating as safely as possible. The first life-saving principle, I am accountable for working safely, lays the foundation for our culture of safety and integrity. My colleagues are involved in new product development and scale-up. Whether we are developing new molecules in the lab, conducting a plant trial, or visiting a customer, we use the life-saving principles to anticipate risk and ensure our safety and the safety of those around us. One of the most challenging aspects of managing risk in R&D is accounting for the constant changes in formulations, experimental parameters such as temperature and pressure, and equipment configurations. As part of our MOC process, we use task risk analyses to identify potential hazards and risk controls. These procedures are used for training and to ensure we are operating within acceptable risk parameters. The procedures are kept in Kraton's document management system to make it easier to share best practices between R&D locations.
As part of the new product development and scale-up team, when I cover plant trials as part of manufacturing support, I apply this life-saving principle. I am responsible for reporting all health, safety, environmental hazards, and incidents. As a fresh set of eyes, I am able to make safety suggestions and report any instances that are unsafe. When I'm at the plant covering a new product trial, I confirm that operators are wearing appropriate personal protective equipment for the new risks they may encounter. During a trial, there could be processes such as higher temperatures or pressures that could be new to existing manufacturing procedures. As part of the research and development team, it is my responsibility to ensure plant personnel perform new tasks safely. If I see something, I say something. It could save someone's life.
Here at the Kraton Innovation Center in Savannah, we apply the life-saving principle, I anticipate risk, avoid the line of fire, and make sure others do the same. I would like to highlight the first phrase of this principle, I anticipate risk. In R&D, before the start of any new procedure or use of any new equipment, we perform a task risk analysis to address potential safety issues or hazards associated with the task. The first part of successful task risk analysis is having the right team. The team consists of R&D scientists, technicians, and sometimes colleagues from global engineering. It is a team that has members with experience and knowledge of related tasks or equipment, and it's usually best to have some new team members that contribute a fresh perspective. We follow a detailed process that involves brainstorming possible hazards and risks and using a defined hazard classification table to determine a hazard rating. The final step of the activity is performing actions and making improvement to minimize their risk. I firmly believe that by having the right team and following the Kraton task risk analysis process, we substantially increase our safety in performing new laboratory tasks.
When looking at Kraton's core values, ownership and safety go hand in hand. As the chairperson of the safety committee, I take ownership of my task in the lab and use our policies and procedures to prepare myself and my team to safely and effectively respond to emergency situations. We take emergencies seriously and prepare our teams with training and knowledge. When an emergency happens, the hazards and incidents are reported immediately to management. Well, this is done to not only make sure the proper procedures are followed, but to relay the incident to others so corrective actions can be taken. Kraton provides emergency training for first aid, CPR, fire hazards, and chemical safety. It is important to recognize when an emergency occurs and what steps to take to keep yourself and your coworkers out of harm's way. I believe safety is not just a policy, it's a lifestyle.
I think what is really remarkable about our life-saving principles is that they are truly applicable to all Kraton employees. Whether you work at a manufacturing site, an innovation center, or in an office, we can all use the life-saving principles to reduce risk and stay safe. In the laboratory, this means applying the principle of, I only perform work if I am wearing the proper personal protective equipment, including wearing the appropriate gloves for the materials I'm handling, or a double matrix face shield if there's a potential for splash. Even a seemingly simple principle like, I will keep a clean and safe work area, means I take responsibility to make sure all chemicals, including particularly hazardous substances, are properly labeled and stored so that my colleagues are aware of the hazards associated with these materials.
I am very proud of the safety performance of the team at KIC Savannah. The culture of safety here is inherent in everything we do. We believe that nothing is so important that it cannot be done safely. We must continue to reinforce Creighton's safety culture by living the life-saving principles every day. We owe it to ourselves, our colleagues, and our families to do our part to make sure everyone goes home safely.